excellent. So Sander is against, is it tempo in the hands of Triforcer? Triforcer's pretty experienced in it, in playing the deck, so but he does hate to play against control. Looks like no, Sander didn't mulligan. He was on the draw, correct. There we go. People keep asking me weird questions. All right. So let's see Sander getting Grasp of Darkness on that Sprite Dragon. So that makes the Winged Words doesn't really do much. And Sander pretty comfortable here, looking to transition into the mid game where he can start playing whatever spell he wants to. Oh, but it looks like Triforcer doesn't have follow-up pressure after that Sprite Dragon got dispatched. And Sander finding all the tools he needs to stabilize this game. So that's going to... This is starting to look very, very good for Sander. We're seeing 2 Dimir Guildgates here already. What's his deck list? I don't need a player controller anymore. Sniff. There we go. Deck lists for Sander. Where is Sander's deck list? Is he playing the full 8 dual lands? No, 3 and 4. Okay. So Devious cover up to make sure that Triforcer doesn't get out of his ditch here. Finds a Crackling Drake though, and Quickskin doesn't have interaction for it, very notably. Now the Crackling Drake isn't that scary yet because of things going to exile instead of to the graveyard. Also hasn't played that many spells yet. In the meantime, we see Quickskin just happily plopping lands onto the table. Can't interact with that Crackling Drake, as we said, and that is the opportunity for Triforcer to fill up the graveyard and try to put as much pressure onto Quickskin as possible. So this is opts and yes and shocks. Shocks aren't really going to do anything else besides giving Crackling Drake +1 power anyway. So we see Triforcer really throwing out all the things. Oh, even throwing an Ominous Sea in the graveyard here. I think I would have tried to cast it and lure an extra counterspell out. Narset, historically a really, really painful card for the blue-red decks to deal with, so let's see if that's going to be enough to divert Triforcer's attention to get rid of it a turn earlier. Quickskin only finds an Essence Scatter there, so still no answer for the Crackling Drake. Yeah, Triforcer does decide to get rid of the Narset, opens up his option of drawing extra card. Ooh, gets an extra Crackling Drake, but that is met with an Essence Scatter. Does he have the Lofty Denials to fight back? Yes. So 1 Lofty Denial to stabilize this. And that didn't say please in response to that one. Does indeed take care of the Crackling Drake. Another Essence Scatter for Triforcer. That's another non-answer, and it does look like Triforcer might have a 2-turn clock here. If his hand is full of shocks, it's 1 turn even. Okay, Quickskin down to 4. finds another non-answer, and that is game 1 to the forcer of the tries. Wow, that was bad. And we go to sideboarding. One of Sphinx's tutelage in the side. Wait, is that one Teferi's tutelage? I thought I saw him have 2 at some point. That's interesting. Niels, we have a problem. What's the problem? Challenge isn't working. Have you tried friend challenge? Like sending friend requests to each other and restarting Magic Arena? There seem to be bugs with that from time to time. So first try a friend invite and then try to both restart Arena and challenge again. That's pretty much the only thing you can do. Okay, Quickskin done sideboarding. Didn't really sideboard much. If we do have extended challenging issues, we might have to postpone the final of this event to some other date, which would be very unfortunate, of course. Okay, and we're off to the races. Game 2, game 1 is in the books in favor of a Triforcer with his Tempo Is It deck, while we are watching Sander play Dimir Control. Has some tools to interact in the early game available. Ooh, could have gotten rid of the Sprite Dragon, but chose not to here. Let's see if that bites him in the butt. Mystical Dispute is an answer against that Ominous Seas. And we still have Grasp of Darkness available to get rid of the Sprite Dragon, but yeah, there we go. That seems like the right decision to me indeed. I think that Emma is also in the top 8. But, oh yeah, Emma can't stream anymore. Yeah, so we only have Sander in the top 8. Showing us his screen. Opt out of Triforcer. He needs to find pressure again. Ooh, that's interesting. Sander getting the duress. Get to have a peek at those 5 cards. Gets a Royal Scions. It's interesting that that Triforcer chose not to try and play it straight up. Shows a hand that still has Shock and Scorching Dragonfire in the deck. That might be a sign that he doesn't really have a sideboard ready for a control matchup, because those cards don't really have that much of an impact. They pretty much only put pressure on the couple of planeswalkers that Sander has. Let's have a quick look at this. Whoa, what's going on? No, go away. Let's have a quick look at the sideboard for Wart. Because I know he really dislikes Dimir, so I would have expected him to have quite a few things in his sideboard. 4 negates, 4 essence scatters. 4 negates, 4 essence scatters. He brought in the Scorching Dragonfires. Interesting. The rest gets negated. So Narset could find a card and then eat a Scorching Dragonfire. But he does have a interaction. Yeah, he should do that before the Narset resolves. And Quickskin allows it to resolve, so he'd rather keep the card in his hand. Sees 2 frantic inventories, that's unfortunate. Now knows that the last frantic inventory is stuck on the bottom of his library, so that illustrious draw 4 isn't going to happen. Sprite Dragon from the top front for Triforcer gets met by a didn't say please, as both players are getting into the top deck area here. Of course, Quickskin does have that frantic inventory that he chose not to play at the end of turn, and draws into pretty much all he wants to see at this point in the top deck war. Some interaction, some extra card draw, while Triforcer sees lands. This is slipping very quickly towards Quickskin, that is for sure. Duress has been instrumental here in not only stripping things from Triforcer's hand, but also giving Quickskin a lot of information on what he needs to play around, how Triforcer chose to sideboard. So, such an innocent small card, but such a big impact. Duress. We talked briefly during the stream about the impact of Negate, but I think that Duress might just be whoa. So Niv Mizzet says that it can be countered. And yeah, Quickskin was sitting on a handful of counter spells, but those aren't going to help him out of this pickle. Now that Shock becomes a card draw spell. And things could be over very quickly in favor of Triforcer here. Which I would be very happy for Triforcer, but that means we won't have a screen share to look at anymore. Mzjitsup want to become famous. No, I don't have an admin here to ban all these people. Grr. No. Screw it. Is there somebody here who wants to be an admin for a while? /admin. Gentle Muffin, you're an admin now. But focus on your match first. Though I hope he's not listening, because that would also be a bit awkward. Unrecognized command, whatever. Apparently I can't just wait. Oh no, it's exclamation mark admin CR death. There we go. Okay, apparently I forgot the command. Let's just hope we don't get more of them and go back to the match at hand. An opt becomes a draw 2 and ping. That's a very nice deal for 1 mana. The Grasp of Darkness got rid of, I'm guessing, something else. Can't really go back now. Another opt. Triforcer now just chaining things together. Dink, dink, dink. So many people have given up on Niv Mizzet in this deck, but it is such a raw, hard tool against control players. Lockmere Serpent for Quickskin is probably not going to be able to do enough for him. Yes, it lets him draw cards, but he only has 6 mana available after the... Oh! Wow. Did this really just happen? And Triforcer tapped pretty low. He only has 1 mana left, so that Niv Mizzet is going down. Another shock. So he's down to 1. Is that the 4th shock? I think that was the 4th shock. So there's not a lethal shock hiding in his deck. No, that was the 3rd shock. There's still... The 4th shock, and that is how Quickskin gets kicked out of the top 8. Wow, that